Salt. It's essential for human life. It controls the amount of water in the human body, balances cells and body fluids, and helps with the contraction of muscle tissue. Salt has a number of positive benefits to the body, but too much of it can pose health problems.
There is a widespread concern regarding the quantity of salt in general foods and in snacks. And several reports show that the general population is consuming food with a high content of salt, and that may pose some health problems, mostly cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, diabetes, obesity, and some metabolic problems as well. And those conditions could be very serious and may increase the mortality.
Salt is commonly used to flavor and preserve food, as well as add texture and create a more attractive appearance. The American Medical Association recommends to lower salt consumption to no more than 2,400 milligrams per day, or the equivalent to 1 teaspoon of salt.
Well, the average American consumes about 4,000 to 5,000 milligrams of sodium a day, which is actually far above that level of 2,400 milligrams of sodium intake that's recommended by most of your leading health authorities. And we consume most of that sodium from processed and or packaged foods that we buy in the store. We as Americans are very busy people, so often it's very difficult to balance that work and family, and sometimes much easier to buy a prepackaged product off the shelves or order a pizza. What we need to be are health-conscious consumers, which means we need to learn how to read those nutrition facts labels on the packages that we buy and pay a special attention to the sodium content.
Research suggests that a diet low in sodium is beneficial for staying healthy. Today, there is a healthier alternative to the common table salt that many have grown accustomed to using in foods. Produced in Chile by SPL and distributed by Cilantro Trading International, Biosalt Light, a high-quality rock salt that has the right balance of sodium and potassium for a healthy diet.
Biosalt is a healthy alternative because it combines sodium chloride and potassium chloride of high quality in a proportion of 48.5% of each of these elements. The salt comes from a rock salt deposit in the north of Chile, in one of the driest places in the world, on a rock salt deposit that is about 8 to 10 million years old. The rock deposit is in layers, and the highest quality salt is the one in the lowest of the layers. The salt follows a simple process, which is you crush it, you wash it, and you sift it. Then it is mixed with high quality food grade potassium that comes from Germany, plus iodine, and the result is Biosalt.
If there is a chance to have a product that may decrease the content of salt, that may decrease the health problem connected with the high salt consumption. And if those products are available everywhere, at home, cafeterias, in a snack restaurant, that may decrease the health problem connected with the high salt consumption.
In the food industry throughout many countries, Biosalt Light is already well known and is increasingly being used as a substitute for regular salt in cooking and in flavoring foods.
The food industry is very much interested in using low sodium salt in the preparation of their products because of the increased consciousness on the part of consumers to have a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle. The industry is reacting the same way it reacted with zero trans fats in order to reduce the amount of sodium that you have in the most common processed food that people love to have, like breads, cereals, soups, frozen food, snacks in general.
There are many people in the medical community that consider the U.S. in somewhat of a health crisis, given the increasing prevalence of hypertension, obesity, and heart disease. Now we know that those disorders are all affected by your genes and your environment. We can't do anything to change the genes that we inherited from our parents, but we can certainly modify our environment, and that includes changing our lifestyle, increasing exercise, and modifying our diet. Now a diet lower in sodium can reduce your risk of all of these disorders that I mentioned before. The development of food which would offer us the same great salty taste, but without the sodium, would help a lot, because it's much easier to eat something that's healthy when it tastes good.
Biosalt Light was brought to the United States from Chile to help Americans become aware of the health benefits of consuming this exciting new product.
Biosalt started in Chile as a product to help dietary problems. And it was called Biosalt Diet. And it was marketed through doctors and pharmacists with an instant success. Immediately, the word diet was dropped out, and Biosalt started to be marketed for the public in general through the retailers and the food industry, because the reduction in sodium consumption was not only good and healthy for people who had a diet problem, but it was good for the population as a whole that was increasingly consuming one way or another more and more products with high content of sodium. That was the inspiration. And the company that produces Biosalt, Sociedad Punta Lobos, is a company that is about 100 years old. It produces right now about 6 million tons of salt a year. In 2006, it became a member of K+S holding of Germany. K is for potassium and S is for sodium, which is the largest fertilizer and salt company in the world.
Derived from the north of Chile, Biosalt is the latest ingredient that is just as good for your taste buds as it is for your body. To learn more about Biosalt Light, please visit cilantro trading.com or spl.cl.